Hey there, it's the Louisiana Conservatarian again. Been listening to news lately. There's all kinds of things obviously going on. But then I saw that news conference with that reporter talking about the new immigration proposal. Oh, jeez, don't get me started. Are you kidding me? This guy's a reporter. To me, he sounded more like a commentator. He wasn't asking questions, he was making statements and challenging the spokesperson on it. I don't understand this. I really don't. The guy calls himself a reporter, but I think he's more of a commentator. Now, let's look at the policy for a minute. Anybody with common sense could see that that's a pretty reasonable plan. People we want to let into the country, you'll be able to speak some English, and they should have a skill that is, one, needed, and two, one that will support them without having to rely on welfare. What is so wrong with that? I don't understand. I mean, how is that like anti-immigrant? We've been too generous for too long, and it's hurting us. A lot of the immigrants that come in, especially obviously the illegal ones, end up being a drain on the system. Now, as Americans, we have big hearts. I don't want to see anyone suffer, but at the same time, I don't want to necessarily just have the open the floodgates and everybody come in and collect a check. There should be some demonstration that they can look after themselves, that they can support themselves financially. And speaking English, I'm sorry, but that's kind of like really helpful around here. We're not a bilingual country, and English is accepted really as the world's language. I know. I traveled internationally over 30 countries. I lived overseas. And I was very fortunate, yes. I could get away with English. And I tried real hard to learn local languages. I mean, I lived in Singapore and Hong Kong. Speaking Cantonese and Mandarin is not easy. But I tried. As a courtesy, as a show of respect. But in essence, English was the official language of business. So I was very lucky. But when you move here, English, whether it's the official language or not, is what's widely spoken. If you're going to be successful in making a life here, English is going to be the way that you do that. I don't see what is so biased about people coming into the country and checking to make sure that they can speak some English and that they have some skills. When did we change as a country to where we didn't ask for that? Well, actually, about 30 or 40 years ago. Up until that point, that was pretty much the standard. And, oh, by the way, countries like Canada and Australia, I guess they're really racist and biased too because they have the same policy. That's right. Before you can immigrate to Canada or Australia, you have to demonstrate that you have a skill where you can support yourself, a skill that's needed, and you have to be able to speak English. Oh my God, how racist they must be in Canada and Australia. New Zealand. I love New Zealand. I actually looked into trying to move there on my own. Well, guess what? I didn't have a skill they needed. I was an HR professional. They got plenty of HR people, so it was kind of like, well, no thanks, pal. We don't need you. Did I want to take them to court? Did I say that, hey, that's discrimination? No, that's their policy. So I see nothing wrong with this policy. In a broad sense. There are probably some details that need to be worked out. But for that reporter to go off like that, and not act as a reporter, but as a judge and jury of what the bill was all about, and the whole news media blowing up about it, that's crazy. That's the kind of stuff that gets me started. Well, anyway, if you want to see more opinions like this, maybe on a calmer scale, let me invite you to listen to my radio program, The Louisiana Conservatarian. You can find it on Village Connection Radio. Join us every Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central, for topics like this, talking with ordinary people, but having extraordinary conversations. I hope to see you then. And look forward to the next Don't Get Me Started. Bye.